Hello guys, my name is Mohammed and welcome to my YouTube channel. Thank you for tuning in, and this happens to be my first ever review, and today we're going to be reviewing my new Rolex Daytona stainless steel watch with the black dial. So before further ado, let's just start on with the review. So to start with, the Rolex comes with the box. It actually comes with a two-layered box. The first is a cardboard box. Once you remove the upper half of the box, it exposes the real box with the real casing, and it comes with a green box with the fairly leathery touch and this gold crown, which is amazingly beautiful. Once you open it, the watch is exposed. And it's actually sitting really comfortably on this pillow, which you remove. And once you remove it, you take out the watch after you unlock the bracelet. Over here you see the warranty card of this watch. This particular watch, it shows the model number, the serial number, and it also shows the place where it was purchased from and the date of purchase. So this watch was purchased fairly recently from a store in Saudi Arabia, as you can see from the card. So before further ado, let's move on to removing the watch. As you can see, the watch is fairly beautiful. It comes with a black dial and stainless steel. The sort of steel that Rolex normally uses is 904L. It is something which is extremely peculiar to Rolex only. And by my choice of the word peculiar, I say that I use that word because this is a sort of steel which is really hard to engineer, and Rolex has happened to fairly master the art of forging this steel. And as you can see, this steel is fairly more shinier than the normal steel. On my wrist right now is an arc racer. I'm sorry, but it's sort of like sacrilege trying to compare an arc racer with a Rolex Daytona. But if you just look at the steel and if you look at the quality, it's fairly easy for you to see the difference in the shines of the two polishes of the steel as well. Both the stainless steel, but for some reason the Rolex, it just picks up much more better. As we go on, unwinding the bracelet, it's fairly easy. It's a two-pronged bracelet. It comes with a security lock. You open it up so that it helps the watch from not opening up while engaged in high-performance sports. We put back the pillow in the box, and the box can take a side step for a bit on this magnificent wood marble table, which I brought back with me from India when I was there some few years ago. So just to give you a brief history of this watch. Now, Rolex was a fairly new entrant into the world of chronographs. If I were to give you an even broader history of the brand itself, Rolex, they started operations in 1905 when they started importing high quality Swiss movements, and then they started packaging them. The founder of the business was Hans Willdorf, and he started working with his English brother-in-law Alfred Davies. And in 1917 they switched their headquarters from London to Geneva, following which the name Rolex came about, and they started business using the name Rolex. Rolex has many patents to its name. They've been pioneers in a lot of the great innovations within the world of horology. The famous oyster case, which was the world's first waterproof case, that was first patented by Rolex in 1926. And also another thing that was patented by Rolex was the self-winding mechanism, by which they actually attached a bi-directional moving rotor at the back of the watch engine. And what that rotor did was that it used to move about with the vibrations of the wearer's wrist, and it used to automatically wind the mainspring, which happens to be the power source of the watch. So the Daytona, it was launched in 1963, and in those days Rolex went about using an outsourced value 727 movement, which was the go-to movement of those times in chronographs. Those initial Daytonas these days happen to be a very collectible item, and they can fetch, from as far as £20,000 to, as high as 50, 60, 70 grand, as you see. Then in the late 1980s, Rolex replaced the value 727 movement, and they moved on to a Zenith El Primero based outsourced movement, which was then replaced in 2002 with an in-house Rolex caliber 4130 movement. Now, if I were to tell you, or if I were to brief you about the few major differences between the current movement and the old movements, the first and the most obvious would be that the second sub-dial at 6 o'clock, as you can see, this modern Daytona with the in-house caliber 4130 movement has the second sub-dial at 6 o'clock, versus the previous versions that used to have their second sub-dial at 9 o'clock. So this is one of the major differences that you can decipher while looking between an older piece and a newer piece. The other major difference, which you'll see, and something which you can also decipher by virtue of a naked eye between the modern Daytona and the first Daytona, choosing the value 727 movements, were that the old Daytonas, they came with more fatter and chunky pushers, and those pushers were not equipped with screw down buttons. Now in the early 90s, Rolex introduced the screw down pushers on the Daytonas so that they could increase the water resistance of the pieces. So as you see, so now let's just talk a little bit about the dial. If you see, you have the minute sub-dial at 3 o'clock, the second sub-dial at 6 o'clock, and the hour sub-dial at 9 o'clock. At 12 o'clock, you have this magnificently beautiful Rolex crown logo. And as far as the bezel is concerned, it's a tachymeter bezel, which you can use to estimate the speed of moving objects. Now, how this chronograph works is that first of all, we just screw up the button, the upper button. We start it, and as you can see, the chronograph seconds hand, it starts moving, and as soon as the event that we're trying to measure it ends, we press it again, and the second hand, it stops. And now what it tells us is that that the event that we were trying to measure was for 14 seconds, and the speed of an object that would have traveled 1 kilometer in that time frame was between 300 to 240 kilometers per hour, which is fairly high. I think it's kilometers. Yes, it's kilometers per hour. Now, in order for us to set it, in order for us to reset the chronograph, we press the reset button at 4 o'clock, and the chronograph is reset. And then we just screw down the machine again to have it full water resistance. As far as the bracelet is concerned, this particular Daytona comes with the Oyster bracelet, and in terms of ergonomics, that this bracelet is really comfortable on your wrist. I mean, it feels like butter on your wrist. When I just put it in, and it just sits really comfortably on my wrist. The case diameter happens to be 40 millimeters, but it doesn't look too big, it doesn't look too small at the same time. I'd say that it perfectly complements my personality, or the personality of anyone having a wrist of my size or my stature. Another thing, if we were to talk about Daytonas in general, I like to mention that the Daytona happens to be the rarest form of any Rolex model out there, and in terms of material, the stainless steel Daytona happens to be the most hardest to find, and anyone looking to buy a brand new piece off the market should expect a minimum waiting period from between 6 to 12 months, depending on the color of the dial. The white dial normally being more easily attainable and available in the market. On the black dial, you should expect an average waiting period between 9 to 12 months. Brand new, these pieces cost between approximately $15,000 US with box and papers. On the pre-owned market, as I was saying before, due to the scarcity of supply, these pieces hold their value really well, and at times, if you're lucky, you're able to sell a piece in great condition for almost as much as you would pay for a brand new piece. But normally a pre-owned piece with box and papers, you should be able to get one from between 12 to 13,000 US, depending on the condition of the watch. So guys, this was my first ever review. I hope you guys liked it. If you guys did like it, please do not forget to like and share the video. And also, please do give your feedback. Your comments and feedback are highly valued by me. As I was saying, this happens to be my first review, and if I am to get better, then I need your help. And also at the same time, I happen to be a collector of watches. If you would like me to review any other piece in either in your collection or in my collection, or any watch in general, please do let me know, and I shall happily try to oblige. Thank you, and this is Mohammed signing out. I hope you guys have a nice day, and I hope to hear from you soon. Thank you.